All right. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to talk about some extraction. But, before I get into extraction, we really all wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for one special guy, right? This guy is incredibly innovative. He moves at light speed. He's very, very fast. And he's a handsome dude. And that's, of course, Harrison Ford. And, Harrison Ford has been in some of my favorite movies over the years. Indiana Jones, Star Wars. And, he's has one film that really stands on its own apart from the others. You might be able to guess it. And that's, of course, the 2006 action thriller Firewall, right? Where Harrison plays Jack Stanfield, who's an IT director for a large bank, and he's in charge of security and building all this security and protecting the money inside his bank, right? And one day, his family's taken hostage and kidnapped by this guy, Paul, Crazy Paul, right? He's a supervillain in all the movies, right? So he takes Harrison's family and forces Harrison's hand to steal from the bank he's so hard to protect. And what's funny is Harrison he's met with a lot of adversity and a lot of challenges throughout the movie. He's under immense stress, and he has to do some really intense problem solving really quickly. And I have an example here that I want to share with you of one of those problems and how he goes about solving it. So let's take a look.
This is the scanner head from the fax machine.
Yeah.
And you'll capture the images of the account numbers off the server screen and transfer them to this.
10,000 songs, 10,000 account codes. It doesn't know the difference.
How will you run the actual file?
I won't. We'll have the maintenance department in Wichita do it.
But there's still just images. What are you going to do with them?
We use an OCR program to convert it to data that the computer can use.
And then use my merge program from the CD.
That's right. What I'm asking for is a standard, Might not do it. They might say, we did it yesterday or scheduled for tomorrow or something.
Get on with it. Make it happen.
Stacy, Jack Stanfield in Seattle.
Hi, Mr. Stanfield.
I need you to run a maintenance sort program for me. All online accounts, largest to smallest.
Give me a sec, I'll check. Okay, key card.
There you go.
Ready to run.
Telling you, the world is changing quicker than you can ever.
It's running, Stacy.
Okay, you.
Pretty cool, right? So what did Harrison do? I call this Harrison's situation, right? He had a problem. It happened to be a data capture problem, and he used some tools to capture some of that data. It happened to be an old school iPod, some tape, and a fax scanner head. I've dealt with faxes. Whether or not his solution really worked is something else, but I'll give him A for effort in that scenario. So what was interesting is, a lot of us have data capture problems, but Harrison had a life-threatening data capture problem. And I get a lot of phone calls from you guys, and you come to me, it does sound life-threatening when you call me. But I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll help. So we work really hard to support you, but it's important. What Harrison found here was he found the right tools to solve his problem. This kind of comes to my next point is he's very creative and innovative in how he solved that problem, right? Because he designed this system that was impenetrable, right? And he had to bypass his own security to extract the data that he needed. And that's how he solved it. So I really like it. It's no different from what we do here at Ephesoft. These are some of the new extraction tools that we've actually added into the product to help you with your data capture problems. So I'll put a couple up here on the screen here. But we've made a lot of improvements in the field extraction area with paragraph extraction and wrap data extraction. Table extraction, we've seen lots of improvements in a UI, which you'll see in a moment. The management of extraction logic in batch class management here. Of course, machine learning, we love that. So all sorts of new tools. That's what I want to convey here, is the new tools that you can get. So let's look at some of those. So unstructured, so a lot of us have unstructured documents, right? Where we'll have data that will be trapped inside a document. Here's an example of like a title type document where we'll have lots of data elements trapped inside this paragraph. You might have the home price, the due date, the borrower's name, right? All this is valuable data, but it's trapped inside this paragraph. Kind of like how Harrison Ford was trapped in carbonite in Star Wars. So it's all about having the tools to extract it out. So how do we do that? This is paragraph extraction in Transact. And it looks a lot like key value extraction, but what we're doing here is we're actually helping define the boundaries on an image. So here you can see I've highlighted the two paragraphs. So Ephesoft will find the different paragraphs within the document, and then you can start parsing inside that paragraph. So the first step is really identifying the keyword or keywords for the paragraph you want to mine for data. And that would be, I use borrower here. So you string a text, find that paragraph, and then define the value you're looking for. So that can be an address pattern, for example, here. And what's really cool is if the address goes from one side of the document and repeats on the next line, Ephesoft will treat that and capture that. So that's really tough to do, and we've handled it quite nicely. Next thing, data conversion. I'm sick of you guys asking me, where's the script to convert my dates? So we've solved that problem, where we're actually allowing you to convert dates right within the product without any kind of scripting. Really easy to use. Kind of like how Harrison Ford converted a bag of sand into a golden idol, right? He did a swap and converted, a date that was not valuable for him into his ERP, which is valuable for him, right? So it's all about getting the data the way we want it, the way it can go into our backends. So there's lots of other examples here. And it's not just dates. You can do a lot of other cool stuff with it. You can read about it on the presentation there. This is a little example here that I put together, and we'll do this lab tomorrow if you're coming to the workshops. But you can see I have a bunch of index fields here with all different date formats. And really, we're just normalizing those dates across the different fields. So, my format is, month, day, year with slashes, right? So just kind of showing how that puts together. What that looks like on the back end is just like in batch class management, you go into your extraction rules, and we have format conversion, which you go in and you can define the type of pattern you're going to be extracting, and then the conversion pattern that you want. And of course, we provide a nice little testing interface here that you can test and make sure that your conversion is the way you anticipate it. So I'll go here, test this, test, there we go. And we convert it. So very easy to use. We're really excited to use it. Cross-section extraction, this is another nice one. So you might have a document where you'll have data on the left and maybe data in a column, and you want to find the cross-section between those two. So in this example here, this is another, looks like key value extraction. But in addition to the key and the value, we have another field called neighbor, which would be the neighboring pattern, the keyword that to the left. So you're going to define your keyword and your column word, and you'll find the extraction. And what's really nice about this is if it doesn't find a piece of data in that cross-section, you can have it roll over and search to the left or right or below it. So it's all configurable, and you'll see that in the labs tomorrow. This is table extraction. So table extraction in 4060, our current release, this is what it looks like. And we've done some really cool table extraction projects where we can really build some rock solid logic to pull this out. One of the problems with this, it was very hard to manage your extraction rule and the image. I always had to have multiple monitors or I'd always lose my PDF. And it was just a hassle to be able to see everything all at once. So with new in Ephesoft 4.1, we'll be able to see the whole picture. So this is what table extraction looks like now, and you get to bring an image in, and you'll see on the left-hand side, we have all the rules, just nice and neat, organized for you, super easy to consume and make changes. So that's on the left-hand side. We've also introduced all these overlays where you can have a little more interaction with the image that you're extracting table data from and rope and zone and kind of manipulate the extraction results. And then finally, this is my favorite part, you can test it and see the data in the same interface. You don't have to leave, so you can be tweaking, building your extraction logic, and test. So this is a really much needed change, and we've delivered here on this. Machine learning, I just wanted to mention it because this is my presentation. I love this feature, so machine learning. But what is very cool, and it came out earlier, was, I was thinking, what if it learns something wrong? This is not that template, on-the-fly template creation, right? Where we're not just clicking a zone and remembering where that zone is, so the next time I see it, we're just going to pick that location. It's much more sophisticated than that. So I was talking to a developer, and I said, what if we teach it wrong? What if we teach it wrong? I say, Chris, just keep giving it examples. So we're going to have a little training on this tomorrow as well. But very cool extraction feature. Global batch class management. This is a really cool one as well. So managing extraction rules is always part of the challenge. And now what we'll do is, let's look at a real example. So you might have a batch class A, batch class B, customer department A, customer department B, right? And you can have doc types in that batch class, right? So you can have doc type 1, field 1, extraction rules, etc. And then we have this new concept called a global batch class. So in a global batch class, you can build doc types inside of the global batch class. So this is doc type 1, field 1, extraction, and then you can even add as many doc types as it's pretty much a standard batch class, just called global. And then what you can do is when you go into batch class B or A, for example, you can add a global doc type into batch class A. So what's interesting, and when you go and look at this doc type, all the extraction rules are grayed out. You can't edit them inside of customer A batch class. If you want to make a change to logic, you have to go out into the global batch class and make a change. So it's a central management of all extraction classification rules. So that's really, if I'm a service bureau and I have many different projects, I can actually go in and add, I already built that doc type or that invoice for that customer, so I can load them in here. And you can actually migrate up from batch classes with our document export and import there. So that's a really cool, I'm really excited to see how you guys use this one. Next thing, Linux fixed form designer. So in Windows, we use Ricostar for fixed form projects, right? And in Linux, we just didn't, it's a .NET application. You have to use an entirely different OCR engine to actually run fixed form projects. So now we have that ability. We use a new Linux form designer from Nuance that you can build out a zone file that you can actually deploy into your Ephesoft batch class. So this will kind of level the playing field between Windows and Linux. Right? So workshops. The team and I have really come together and built some really cool workshops for tomorrow. So everything you saw me present here today, we got a lab for tomorrow. So you can come in, we'll have interactive demos, some best practice, a lot of interaction. It's all live software, so you came all this way, let's touch the software. So come on tomorrow, we'll have a great time. And we'll start here at 8:30. Tomorrow we'll have a working breakfast around there, so come on in. So really, that's the most important piece right here, is equipping you with the tools that you need to solve your data capture problems. And that is what we've done here. I think I'm really excited to see how you guys will use them. So thank you. And remember, OCR saves lives.